Hello, this is Big Bopper here with another Malifaux Batrep. This is a game that was almost 2 weeks ago, so it's not so fresh in my memory. But this is my opponent's crew. He has Lilith there with Living Blade and Beck and Malifaux and the Avatar upgrade. This is the first week of the Avatar beta, and he decided he'd have a go with that, mainly because he wanted the Decompose ability on the pre-manifest side of the card. He thought I'd be going scheme marker heavy, and he wasn't wrong. He's got 4 Terratots there. One of those Alps is representing a Terratot. 2 wild guys, Barbaros. With Barbaros, he took Cyclone Crash and also the Cherub. So he's been playing, when he has been playing, he's been playing quite a bit of Lilith. We've all found her to be very versatile. She's not just smack you in the head with her sword. She can actually play quite a support game. It doesn't really need to engage if she doesn't want to. I decided I'd bring out Douglas McMourning. This is the 3rd time I've used him. I think he's very good. He's just probably not my favourite go-to master for reses. I think Seamus is. So for him, I got Plastic Surgery, Evidence Tampering and Moonlighting. I got Sebastian there. I decided I'd try him with Corpse Bloat, and I don't think I'll do that again, but I'll let you know why. Zombie Chihuahua, 2 nurses. I have a Flesh Construct, a Crooked Man, a Dog, and I'm trying a Wave 2 model, the Drowned. I actually think the Drowned are pretty good, especially if you can get them into combat. So the strategy for this was Turf War, and the schemes we both took Protect Territory and Plant Explosives, and we both announced Protect Territory. I tend to do this if I've got Turf War, if I've got that scheme, but it was flank deployment, and I think Protect Territory is not a great choice with flank deployment, just because your deployment zone is so huge. You've got to get a bit further away before you can score points. So there's my deployment in the big L shape. McMourning's up on the rock. He's a master of all he surveys. I've got Sebastian, the Chihuahua, and Crooked Man and Drowned on one side. On the other side, I've got both the nurses, Flesh Construct, and the Doggy. I was planning to do my injection ability end of turn on the Flesh Construct after it's moved up and hopefully throw him into the middle of some of my opponent's miniatures and do the old Plant Explosives trick because, you know, that injection ability, 0 action, push them up to 8 inches, I think, and then they can drop a counter. So they don't even need to be a significant model. That's a huge advantage for certain schemes, I find. So there we are, ready to head into the middle. As you can see, there's a lot of trees, so I was a bit apprehensive about the manifestation of his avatar. And as you can see, there's his deployment there. Barbaros is actually being played by Lilu. So he's already, I'm hoping he'll push up into the middle. Those not aware, when Lilith manifests, all severe terrain becomes hazardous terrain, and we had about 4 forests down, so I was a little bit nervous about that. But as it turned out, my opponent really didn't want to manifest unless he had to. He more wanted her counter-removing ability, so he gave her the desperate manifestation, and that's when if you drop below half wounds, I think you can manifest, and you can choose to do a healing flip as a manifest. It's quite a nice option because there are some pre-manifest abilities so far that you really are happy if they don't manifest. But anyway, I mean, it's still early beta. This was the first week and things have changed already. So as you see, we're coming up to turn 1 and pretty much everyone's pushed into the middle. Those 2 round markers next to the like the blast markers are just an illusionary forest is a blue one, and the fiery one is a germinate marker. As you can see in the top left forest, I did the inject on the Flesh Construct, and you move right into the middle of the Cherub, the Wildgeist, and the Terratot, drop down the marker, and I got Plant Explosives. So I was very happy with that result. It's something that I've heard talked about on the Malifaux, so thank you, Mike Marshall, for that trick. My Doggy moved down the left-hand side of the forest and dropped a marker. He's already dropping a whole lot of markers. I didn't realize at the time, but they're Plant Explosives. He's hoping to lure me in. Sebastian's just in the middle there. I'm just hoping to get his, that poison aura going. The Cherub with a dice next to it, it actually suffered a wound of poison. I don't know if it was from attack or something McMourning did. I can't remember. It might have been a bit of the Crooked Man. As you can see, there's Lilith. She did the Tangle Shadows to move the Zombie Chihuahua out of base contact with my Crooked Man and swap it with a Terratot. He plays McMourning as well, and he knows the danger that the that the Zombie Chihuahua can do with putting poison two on everybody within 2 inches at the end of his activation. So he's hoping to win initiative next turn and kill it off. Here's the middle of turn 2. He did manage to kill off the Chihuahua before I could activate, so I couldn't spread poison. What happened on this side, you'll see both the Flesh Construct and the Wildgeist is missing. Activated the Nurse, she paralysed the Wildgeist, and my Flesh Construct moved up and devoured it over 12 tomes, so it was great just to one-shot it. Of course, Lilith got really annoyed and charged across and actually killed the Flesh Construct in one activation, doing 2 4s and 1 5. As we can see, this is the end of turn 2 big goggles effect. Sorry about the photo, but a lot happened on here. He somehow managed, I forget how he did it, but it was a cheeky little maneuver to get Barbaros in a position out of everyone's engagement range to drop down a plant explosive, so he got full points for that. McMourning didn't expunge on the Cherub and managed to get another Flesh Construct out. You work it out. And also something else died of poison and I was able to get a doggy. My other dog's just going down there doing the protect territory. I've now got 2 markers down. So I'm feeling at this stage that the game's in hand. I'm very happy with where I'm sitting. And, I'm thinking, I think I'm in the driver's seat here, with all the poison shenanigans going on in the middle. I probably should be able to take out Lilith and then I'll just be cleaning up and getting my points. That's what you get for being cocky. And, things don't turn out that way, as you will see. So, end of turn 2, he's already started to move his Terratots away. Once I started spreading poison around, he started going for his protect territory. He thought, I'm not going to keep the Tots there and keep giving him dogs. That's where I got that extra doggy from. It was a Terratot dying of poison when activating. So he ran a Terratot away, and I'm trying to chase it down with a Drowned. That's really hard to do. And this is McMourning's activation turn 3. So I managed to do a couple of rancid transplants with the doggy and the Flesh Construct next to Lilith, and I got poison 12 on it. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, now I got her. Do expunge, do 9 damage. He does a damage reduction flip and takes a couple of wounds off, and then he reveals Desperate Manifestation. Now, we did it wrong here. He did both Manifestation Revolts, the 2 damage when you're in severe terrain, when she manifests, and also did the healing flip. And that had a bit of an effect on the game. I suspect that if he could only choose one, he would have gone for the healing. And that probably would have been better for McMourning. My Flesh Construct was left on 1 wound at the end of this, so when he activates, he's in hazardous terrain, he takes damage. And so he would die. And Lilith was healed up, and it all sort of started going downhill from here. This is the end of turn 3. I'd managed to get a few poison tricks off on him as well, so he had moved away not to be within Sebastian's automatically take 3 damage, and he managed to kill off the Crooked Man. Crooked Men I like, but they're no match for a henchman like Barbaros. And now we zip ahead to the end of turn 4. So at the end of turn 3, she manifested, activated, took McMourning down to 1 wound. Then McMourning, I didn't want to activate him because on 1 wound he would die. I didn't have any soul stones left. I moved both the nurses on over to try and get the fully heal up trigger off, but I didn't have any crows in hand. So basically he activated and died, and that was very sad. So I've lost McMourning. Sebastian was killed by a red Joker sword swipe by Lilith. I made the mistake of moving them both into a 3-inch melee range. I sort of forgot about that, and he just butchered them. I mean, the red Joker was a lucky flip, but, it happens. So now, as I said, I'm on the back foot. My master and my henchman are dead. All I've got in the middle competing for Turf War are my 2 nurses. They're great, but they're only support models, so there's very limited what they can do. And he had his Terratots and Barbaros going everywhere. As you can see, this is the end of turn 4. Barbaros is into the Drowned. One of the Terratots in the corner there has 2 scheme markers down and is within 2 inches of both for protect territory. He's still competing for Turf War, and he's starting to hammer into my ability to get protect territory. And you know, that's where I'm thinking, oh, this is where I'm going to lose the game. He's going to get full points. I'm not. This is the end of turn 4. So Lilith does this amazing thing with her avatar attack. She can got these roots, and if she gets it's a ranged attack, and if she gets a trigger off it, like gets a extra mask off it, she can pull an enemy 6 inches into terrain. So he hit that nurse, did minimum damage, did slow, pulled her through 2 bits of hazardous terrain. She's left on 1 wound. The visuals of this poor nurse being yanked through forest by a vine. Yeah, it's quite entertaining. As you can see, end of turn 4, he's sitting comfortably there. He knows he's sitting on full points now. You know, he's got 3 for plant explosives, he'll have 3 for protect territory, and he'll have 4 for turf war. And I'm just holding on for grim death, trying to get some points. This is where the flank deployment really hurts me, because if it was like a normal deployment, my nurse closest to Lilith might be able to move away and get another scheme marker down for protect territory. But because that's such a huge deployment zone, she's not far enough to be able to score points for it. As you can see, there is my doggy sitting on his 1 protect territory marker, and you know, the Terratops have got him outnumbered and are moving in. So this is the end of turn 5. The wild guys kills off that nurse. As you can see, I've just got my nurse in the middle. She was slowed the previous turn by Lilith by the roots attack. She manages to paralyze Lilith, so at least Lilith won't get the killer. But my nurse can't go anywhere, can't score me any points. You know, oh, maybe I didn't get all of Turf War too. Anyway, I'm losing the game. Really disappointed, because you know, it's one of those games where I really thought I was in there with a chance, and then there was this surprise moment, and you know, we made a mistake with the manifestation, but it all sort of went downhill. Yeah, what can you do? As you can see, there's lots of markers out there from Urban Lasercraft if you want to go check them out. They're very good for delineating who's got what down. There's lots of corpse markers. I only got corpse bloat once off on Sebastian before he died, and he made all his saves. It's a 2-point investment. I think I much would have taken those are not ours, so he could get soul stones back and summon doggies. That would be a better one. This is end of turn 5. My dog moved into the corner, placed down another scheme marker, so I've got 1 point for protect territory, which is nice. He's got his 2 Terratops there. I'm praying that it doesn't go turn 6, because he'll just take out the dog and get rid of the scheme marker, or just move them right up next to it. There he's got his 3 points for protect territory, because he announced it. I think he announced it. Yeah, I can't remember it was that far back. So anyway, that's pretty much a wrap. It was a fun game. He's always a fun opponent to play. That Lilith avatar is nasty when you've got that much severe terrain. I'll have to watch out for that next time. So I think it was a 10-8 loss. I was happy with my initial plans, but it sort of got away from me. When he started spreading the tots out, I didn't have the speed to stop them. And, you know, the surprise manifestation of Lilith just did McMourning in. I made some bad mistakes by moving both Sebastian and McMourning into her melee range. If I just hung back and kept poison on her, but within the aura of Sebastian, she would have slowly melted away. But you know, it was like my 2nd or 3rd game with McMourning, or 3rd game with McMourning, so I'm still learning with him. I think he's really powerful. What he can do with poison is nasty. Expunge is just such a brilliant ability. I didn't get to use it, but Evidence Tampering can turn a game on its head. Yeah, and the fact that you can get a flesh construct out of anything that's poisoned virtually, any living or undead model, even a peon totem, is hilarious, I think. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.